Today we are learning how to color grade like Game of Thrones. Before we start, we just launched the Thrones Play LUT pack. If you want to have all the Game of Thrones inspired LUT, just head over the website in the store. It's right there, all pre-made for you guys. Okay, let's get started. So here I already laid out my footage in timeline. So I put two references in my timeline as well. So one is Bravos. This is a place where the Faceless Man basically lives. As you can see, really desaturated image, not a lot of colors, a little bit of crushed black in there, more yellowish tone to the image. When the other one is Dorne, this is where these prints come from. A little bit of contrast in the image, but not that much. Also, all the image is more of the purplish, pink, red kind of tones. But for this video, let's use Bravos as our reference. So we need to go in Effects, find the Lumetri color effect, and then just apply it to our footage. So just slide and drag and drop there. So here is our effect applied. And before we start doing anything, let's bring up the Lumetri scopes so we'll have a better idea of what's happening. So here, if we compare to this one, all right, so we can see that I have a little bit more color saturation in this image than the reference one. I was telling you that it was a little desaturated, so it just confirms what I was thinking. And here we see I have a little bit more blue in this image because of the sky and the color profile on this camera. And if we look here, the blue is not the dominant color. So basically red and green, so yellow and oranges, what I was telling you about is more in there. You can see like a little bit of green or yellow here, a little bit of red in her face. So yeah, let's get started. So here we will start with the saturation, and under creative you can find your saturation and just start pulling it a little bit. There you go. So let's compare to this one. Yeah, that sounds about right. Maybe a little bit too much. Let's bring it up just a few points. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So, and then now let's go in the basic color correction. As I was saying, well, we can see here on the vector scope, not a lot of blacks, when here our black is all the way to the bottom. I was telling you like there's some crushed black here and there, not too much, but there's a little bit, so we need to address that. So if we go to our blacks here, we can bring that down. Actually, we'll bump up the contrast a little bit, because that image is a little bit flat compared to this one. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. This starts to look like similar, maybe a little bit more contrast. All right, now the only thing that we still need would be a little bit of color shift. We still have a lot of blue in our image. Like that image is really more on the bluish, while this one we can definitely see it's more on the yellow side. To adjust that, you can go in color wheels and you have your shadow, midtones, and highlights. And this is more like a global adjustment that I want to do, and just bring my yellow and orange tones. So let's click on the midtones and just slide it. We can actually like overdo it. It's going to show us like what is happening. So sometime overdoing it just is going to guide you in the right direction, and then you can cut it back to where you were. In this we went too far, but we can see that we are going into the right direction. Look at the gray here. And now look at the gray on this hanger. They are looking pretty similar. Let's tone it back down a little bit. Just now that's more like it. So there it is. There's a little bit of red and desaturation in her skin. Okay, so we can do that with HSL secondary. So if you click on it, you'll see there's all of these sliders. So this is really good to isolate skin tones and then just adjust, or any color as a matter of fact, and just adjust that color. What you can do to start is to click the dropper on set color. So you can just select one of the color in there. Just let's click this. So it's going to give me a middle of the road kind of selection at this point. You can add colors in there, but I'll just do it a little bit different. You can do it many ways, but I'll just tell the program to show me the mask, and I'll just basically feather my colors. So with those sliders, you can go and you'll see how it's going to affect the image as we go. So I'll just stretch this color range a little bit, and then same here. So you have color saturation and light, and that is the top one is U. So basically you can play with those sliders until you get all of the color you're looking for. Like in this case, the range is pretty big. Like, and you can see the mask right here is getting bigger and bigger. This dragon has a lot of color to it, so I'm just trying to find something that's gonna be good. Let's see here. See, we can see the dragon like coming together, and like I could spend like a lot of hours on this, but like for the purpose of this video, let's just keep it at that. Now we'll remove the mask. So that is basically the color I'll be adjusting. If we click show mask, here you have everything that I'm going to be affecting is within that range. Let's go back to Ari's image here in Bravos. You can see her skin is like almost totally desaturated with a little bit of red. So of course her skin is more peach than yellow, so we don't want to kill that color. So what we'll do, just a little bit less saturation for the dragon here. It's more like it. And we have the color wheel here, so you can shift the color of the color you selected. So in this case, there's a little bit, it's more of the red pink kind of color. So I'll just go in the red a little bit and change it more and more. You can see like now this dragon looks more red than it was before. I think that's a good color middle of the road. If we look at the two, there's a little bit of difference, of course, but look at the gray. Like the gray is similar, a little bit more red in the gray. Like we can play and tone it back a little bit. I think that's going to be more like it. Yeah, that's already a little bit better. Let's push it more because there's a little bit of green as well. So there would be like a need to go and refine a little bit everything. So like we could go back to the color wheels and then re-add, actually, like might be more in the shadows, a little bit of green in here. That's a little too much. Let's see. Yeah, that's not bad. So I'm pretty happy with this image. So yeah, so hopefully you learned a little bit from this video. There is plenty of looks in Game of Thrones. All of them are really different from each other. But we just launched the package on the website. So the Thrones Play LUT package, just go in the store. It's right there if you want to have 8 different looks that are inspired by Game of Thrones. And guys, as always, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and like us on Facebook. See you next time.